Hey, hey, hey. All right. Hopefully this is better. I have no clue what was going on, but we going to make this happen and get this live going on. All right. So I am Dr. Cozette M. White, America's #1 tax and accounting strategist. And listen, guys, I work with CEOs to help them understand what's really going on with their business. I also work with our tax and accounting professionals to help them grow. I'm trying to get this together. Like, y'all would think I got it together, huh? To help them grow, scale, and leverage in their business. And that I am not using the right app. And I know that I'm using the right app. But anyway, I work with tax professionals, EAs, enrolled agents, CPAs to help them grow, scale, and leverage in their organization, you all. I do this by offering coaching courses. We are also an internal revenue service provider of continuing education hours. So we do offer courses, other resources, and other tools to help. So I am so glad that you guys have joined us. I will be bringing my guest up. We are going to be talking about tax savings. What are some of the things that you as a business owner, as a taxpayer, as an individual, as a consumer, as someone who pays Uncle Sam, what is it that you can do to help reduce your tax liability right now today as we jump right into this tax season 2023, where we are filing our 2022 tax returns, and some of you may be filing back taxes. I have had a number of people send their taxes in this week that had 4 years worth of taxes, 5 years worth of taxes. So we are doing back taxes as well. So let me say hello to everyone that's joining me. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on this live. I do appreciate it. I am bringing my guest in right now. And we're going to get the party started. We had a little technical difficulty, but hey, that's the world we live in, right? Technical difficulty. So April will be joining us. Hey, April, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Cozette, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine once I could get this phone and whatnot to working. But hey, I'm all good. It's all good. We got it. We got it.
Thank you
so much. Now tell the world, where are you at?
So I am in Texas. I'm in Houston. I am
Okay.
virtual though, so I'm from DC, so I have a bulk of clients in that area in the DMV. And so I'm in Houston now, but I'm not sure if I want to stay in Houston or go back to Dallas. So I have not built any clients up here.
Well, you know what? You don't have to build them there because you just told me you virtual. I have been virtual, you guys, since 2006. So when we talk about this virtual thing, I didn't have to convert. I didn't have to start all over. I already had clients in all the states in 8 countries because I have been virtual for years. And even before, because I used to get on social media and get off, get on, get off. My girlfriend was like, girl, if you don't get on and stay on, that's where the business is at. I'm like, but I don't want all my clients knowing about me. And so I never allowed my clients to follow me. And then when I started doing different things, I was like, heck, just let them follow me. Let them get all up into my life. Let them know exactly that there's more to life than just taxes. I have a life, and so I let them in. So don't block yourself in this thing called Houston or DMV or Dallas. Be worldwide.
Right. You're right.
Be worldwide. Okay?
That's it.
So listen, tell them who you serve. Who is it that you serve? Now, I asked that question because, listen, guys, just because we say we do taxes or just because we provide financial services, it doesn't necessarily mean that we service everybody, because everybody is not our ideal client. For instance, and nothing against this group of this niche, but I don't necessarily serve the EIC clients. There are several taxpayers that do. I service business clients. And so right now I stay busy, but I'm busy doing cleanup work. Whereas some of my colleagues, you all, they're busy. They're into the tax returns right now because some have gotten their W-2s and whatnot. So who is it that you serve?
So I serve individuals and nonprofits. So I perform the 990s, and I also am tapping into S Corp, and I don't want to be bothered with C Corp just at the moment. But my main goal is I service small business clients, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs because I am a firm believer that if you are in business and your books are a mess, then your taxes are going to be a mess. So I start with those individuals. And as we know, as tax accountants or tax professionals, that tax season is seasonal and it comes and clients come and go. So I love to service small business owners and work closely with them to help them all year long. And then it just so happens that some of, or most of my bookkeeping clients or accounting clients, they just transition over into tax clients because I do both sides.
Exactly. And so you said something right there that tax season is seasonal. For those of you who know, like it is seasonal for those preparers who make it seasonal.
Right.
But let me just debunk the myth. Tax season is not just from January to April. Let me tell you, there are tons and tons of taxpayers who are delinquent that still knock on our door, who still call us, who still jump in our DM asking for tax resolution to get them out of trouble, to file back taxes. I told y'all I have 5 years from one of my sorors who just sent all of her stuff in, 5 years. So it's not just seasonal. You may find that there are some who are seasonal. You choose who you want to work with, someone who you can reach out to all year long or someone who you got to chase. I don't like chasing nobody. I want them there when I want them there. So I ain't going to chase y'all.
That's right.
So that just want to debunk the myth because there's so many things that we as professionals in this industry can do for our clients. We have tax planning, we have forecasting, projections, all those types of things. So besides taxes, for your bookkeeping clients, what other services what do you offer them? Like, listen, guys, bookkeeping is not just about data entry, some numbers and stuff. I stayed in accounting out in corporate America for 20 plus years. So it's not just about sitting behind the desk, adding up some receipts, making some collection calls, paying some vendors. Listen, y'all, it's a lot more to it. And that's how we can save you when it comes tax time. So tell them what else you do with that bookkeeping.
Exactly. So I have clients that are on payroll. So I process the payroll for the client. So that's something that keeps you busy other than just the bookkeeping. Also making sure that the reconciliations are done every month, making sure there's no error. Also making sure that they have financial statements every month. You never know what a person may be trying to do in their business. Also, like at this time of year, I'm doing the 1099s for all of the bookkeeping clients. So it's always something going on. Outside of the bookkeeping clients, I also provide services for new entrepreneurs or startup companies that are looking to form an LLC, take the S Corp election, nonprofits, corporations, so formations and filing for entities. Keeping up with that, it's a lot that we do on an everyday basis to keep us busy. And then tax season is huge because I have my own tax clients and then I also work for TurboTax. So I'm just like all over the place around this time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a bulk of cash flow, making sure that people know, how their money is moving in and out their business. Making sure that the assets are on their books for people that have assets. Like it's a lot.
Right, the depreciation that comes along with schedules, the assets, you guys.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, when you guys go out and buy these cars, when you buy machineries, mm-hmm. even things such as cell phones, believe it or not, is considered an asset for your business. The mm-hmm. furniture that you buy for your business, the desks, the computers, all those things are considered an asset. And those are things that we, as the financial advisor, we need to know that you are making these purchases so mm-hmm. that we can properly depreciate the asset accordingly. We're not going to get into what depreciation does, but I always like to explain it as like, it's this false number or this false expense, this ghost expense that we can utilize and help us reduce our tax liability. Yeah. Or we can take that asset, that car, that computer, not the car, but the computer, the office equipment, and we can take the full expense this year. But see, a good professional is going to analyze and determine, will it make sense to fully depreciate it, expense it, in mm-hmm. the current year, or
over
depreciated
time.
over the life of the asset.
Yes. And it's
Are you
important
going
to
to
ask
benefit now
questions.
or later? And that's what she said, or that's what we're talking about, strategy and tips
Yes.
for saving. Do you buy a car, now at the top of the year? You buy it at the end of the year? Should you have bought it in 2022? When should you? A strategist is going to help you, going to tell you, no, let's wait. Well, the cash is not in. Let's wait till we beef up some cash. We have a surplus coming in Q4. Let's wait until Q4.
Yeah. Advisory services. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
That's good.
Boom. So let's talk about focus on some tax tips. Let's give them about 3 to 4 strategies that they can. Well, let's talk about something they could do right now.
Okay.
In the current that can save for 2022.
Oh, that's amazing. I did a live earlier today, a lunch break tax talk about this very thing. So some savings or some things that they can do that will help themselves right now. Is that what you're referring to for filing now?
For the 2022 return, because there's still some things that they can do before the deadline of tax deadline. So let's just tell them those things first.
The first thing that they can definitely do is clean up their books
themselves,
or like I stated earlier, you can outsource your bookkeeping to an accountant or to a bookkeeper that can clean up your books so that your books are clean and accurate and ready to go. A tax professional that receives financial statements from a person that is prepared and organized, you're like God-given blessing, right? Because they don't have to chase you down to ask you a million and one questions of what is this, where is this, and to make you have to go do that same very thing to figure out, what it is that I need to be able to write off more expenses. So what I find sometimes, Dr. Cozette, is that people will come and they're just say Schedule C, but they don't know what they can write off. They don't know that, certain things are expenses to them. Like I stated earlier about bank fees, something as simple as third-party merchant account fees. Those bank fees can make a difference.
Yes.
And so if you're using this card and that card and you're all over the place, then what you're going to have to do right now is to go find those things and put them on a spreadsheet if you're not using the accounting software, which is, I scream this all day long. You need to use an accounting software. If you are a real business, you need to act like one. So that means you need to use an accounting software that will do the heavy lifting for you, and stop commingling funds, using different cards and mixing personal and business, because it creates a mess.
Right.
Not just for us, but for you as clients, because most of us tax professionals are not going to do that hard work for you. And if we do, it's going to be a large fee.
Exactly.
So that's a main thing that you can do right now, is to go back and reconstruct, going through your statements, your bank statements, your PayPal statements, whatever you use to receive income and where you spent money. You want to go back and gather those things if you have not been using accounting software in 2022, so that you can have it in one spreadsheet or in one place, so that it'll be easier for your tax professional to prepare your taxes. Another tip would be to, so that's kind of like organized and getting everything prepared. Another tip is wait until you have all of your forms. Do not try to file your taxes if you're missing forms, because what'll happen is you'll get a letter saying, why didn't you report this? Or, where is this? Because the IRS knows what you need to be filing. So wait until you get your 1099K, because most people don't even realize that they need to include that. But what I tell people is, as a tip, wait until like the second week of February to give the companies and the businesses time to send you all of your forms. Do not file unless you have all your tax forms.
Right.
And then knowing if you have a house, then you need to wait for that 1098. So knowing as an individual or a business owner what you are doing in your life and in your business, to know what kind of forms to expect. So that's a tip too. And then I would say the last tip that I can think of is be ready to do some work yourself as a business owner. Don't expect your tax professional to do everything for you. It is your business. If you're audited, they're going to audit you, not your tax professional. And we only can do but so much. So you have to do your part. So that's tip number 3.
Right. And not only do we want you to do your part, what I want you all to do is I want you to ask questions of your professional. Just don't take everything by face value. Here's the thing. We may slip. You may not have given us all information, but don't assume that just because you didn't give it to us, that we can read your mind and we're going to ask you. Okay, we are processing lots of returns during this time of the year. And so we are human. And so something could slip. Okay, so you need to do your due diligence. Also, you can also find some of your tax documents online, like your mortgage interest. You can find those online with your mortgage company. I can go to all of my mortgage companies and print out what I paid year to date in interest. Don't forget your property taxes. We're talking about documents, property taxes. Property taxes are not always on the back of your 1098. If you don't have them impounded, you should be able to go to your county assessor or whomever maintains your property tax records to get those types of things. One other thing that wasn't mentioned that I want to share with you guys, if you are looking for strategy, if you are looking to reduce your tax liability, you have until April 18th to contribute to your IRA. You need to ensure that if you are contributing to your IRA and you want it to be applicable for this particular tax year, 2023, you need to let the financial institution know that it is to be applied to 2022. I said 2023. For 2022, but if you want it for 2023, then you can. Make sure that you do not exceed the threshold. Okay, your financial advisors or your financial institution should be advising you and asking you these questions when you go to make that contribution. Okay, and you will know if you've exceeded the threshold or not. You know what you've contributed, and if you over contribute, trust and believe, and you try to put that on a return, we can't, but trust and believe, you will get notified that you made too much in the current year, which is 2022. Okay,
that's good.
So our main thing, you all, that we want to take away in this live right now is make sure that you have your records in order before you get to your professional. Make sure you've determined, to our business owners, make sure you know you have all of the income. For those of you who like doing all this shenanigan stuff, and I call it shenanigan stuff because true business owners don't commingle their money and have all their money in all these different places. True business owners that have employees don't be paying people from Zelle and don't pay people from Cash App. That's not an employee. So y'all need to like get it together or leave it alone, to be honest with you.
I love that. I love that.
Seriously, like I had a lady reach out to me yesterday and it just blew my mind, but I listened. She told me she had been paying all 9 of her employees $700 a week, you all 9 of them, $700 a week through Zelle or Cash App. But she said that they were employees. If you heard me on the last one, there's truly a clear, definitive line that talks about who's an employee and who's an independent contractor. Okay, you want to go into that? You want to tell them who's who and what's what?
Sure. And guess what? This is an area of concern for the IRS. The IRS makes this very clear that if you do not differentiate the two and make the right decision, there's hefty fines. An employee is a person that works for the employer, meaning that they are told what hours to show up, what their job duties are going to be, and they have to do this by what the employer says, right? That's an employee. We've all had a job before, so just think about it. When you worked at your first job, you had to be there when they told you to be there and do what they said to do, and you leave when they said you can leave. That's pretty clear. Now, independent control. Oh, it's all about control.
Jackson says control. It's about the control.
That's true, and that's what it is. But as an independent contractor, there is no control, and that makes a difference. they are their own business. They're their own person. So freelancers, people that provide a service for you, they're considered independent contractors. And those are the people that are issued those 1099s I spoke about earlier, the NEC, non-employee compensation to be exact. Those are the people that receive those forms. So instead of receiving a W-2 as an employee, you receive a 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation form at the January 31st is the deadline. And the difference too is that a W-2, they have taxes withheld if they are in a state that withhold taxes. Federal, yes. An independent contractor, there are no taxes withheld. You are responsible to pay your own taxes as a 1099er, and that is a clear difference of, like Dr. Cozette said, control and not control. You as a contractor, you do your own thing. You don't show up and work the hours of the person you providing the service for. You are your own person.
Y'all got it. Y'all know the difference now. An employee, you paying them a paycheck, not through Zelle, Cash App, or direct deposit. You as the employer are paying employer taxes. You are remitting the taxes that you withhold from your employee's paycheck.
That's right.
Okay, you can also get in trouble if you don't want to get in trouble with the trust fund side of things with the Internal Revenue Service or any of the state agencies for that matter. So
right.
Listen, April, where can they follow you? Where can they stay in contact with you?
Sure. So I am at Accounting Plus Tax Services on Instagram. I am at Accounting Plus Taxes on Facebook. I have a group on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn as April Moore, just my name. And I have not done any YouTube, no TikToks. I'm not interested in any of that right now because I have other things going on those platforms. But you can find me here. You can check my bio out on my Instagram and you'll find how to contact me by email as well. So thank you so much for having me on. And I do want to mention this, which is a question for you because we're talking about this and this may come up. As an independent contractor that receives a 1099, if a company is an S Corp or C Corp, they do not have to be issued a 1099, right? But on the flip side, my question to you is, and for our audience, because they may not know, is it okay for the person to still take that expense on that subcontractor line?
If they do not receive a 1099?
If they don't issue it. So if a business owner paid out $18,000 to a contractor, but that contractor does not have to get a 1099 because of their tax status, is it okay for that person to still put that $18,000 on their subcontractor line and it be okay with the IRS?
Well, it may not be okay with the IRS. The IRS may come and question whether or not, or what's the backup to support it because you put it on contractor. So they may come and say, can you give us a list of all of your contractors that make up this $18,000? And so what will happen is the IRS will say, you pay Susie, you pay Bob, you paid Smith, and you paid them more than $600 according to this ledger that you gave me. How come you did not issue a 1099? They could go back and make you issue a 1099, and they will also go after the person the recipient who you paid that money to.
Yes. This is good. I asked you that because this actually happened this morning. I told my client, I said, no, we need a W-9 because I know that they are an S Corp, but for me, I'd rather keep my clients safe. So just issue them the 1099 NEC, whether they file it or not report it, that's on them. But at least you'll have the records to show that you issued it. So that line, subcontractor line, can really have that amount. And I believe that this is helpful to people that are listening because I get that question quite often.
Like we cannot control what they do once we issue that 1099. Right. We can't. And another thing, this brings up a whole different conversation. Like, what about when you have good record keeping and you are keeping track of all of your income, but then you get this 1099 and then you turn around and you take your profit and loss statement and you you give it to the tax professional, and then you turn around and give that 1099 to them. My question is like, is this 1099 included in this revenue, or is this additional income?
Yeah.
Tell me. And then if you come with, well, I don't know, well, okay. So I need to know what's the right number. Is the number on the P&L correct? Or did somehow this number, this 1099 just flow in here? Yeah. So listen, don't confuse us. She told you to start doing your work now, getting your records in order. These are some of the things that you need to take into consideration. And if you have a bookkeeper, an accountant, a virtual CFO, these types of things can be avoided. Why? Because all income is coming into your income account. I tell everybody, you need 5 accounts. You need an income account, you need an operating account, you need a payroll account, an income tax account, and a reserve account. Why? Because when the money comes in, you can allocate it to operational expenses. You can send a portion of it to your reserve. You can put a portion to the payroll, and then you know you got a portion over there that you owe Uncle Sam. When you get that $100,000 check, all of that is not yours. You need to divvy it out. You need to put some aside for payroll, put some aside for the Internal Revenue Service. It is not all yours. So what we're talking about, this 1099 and what's on the P&L, if everything is coming into one account, then all the money is accounted for. I don't care if you do got a 1099, that profit and loss should say, oh, this is all the money from ABC Corporation. You should be able to go through and say, oh, well, ABC, well, it says we received 50,000 or 100,000 from ABC. Well, this 1099 reflects that. So yeah, this is in the P&L.
Yeah. That's good.
Reconciliation, you guys. Get you somebody that can help you maintain your books. Like, you know, I spent 20 years in corporate America, so numbers is my game, y'all. But on the serious side, like April told you guys where you can follow her. I am on all social media platforms at Cozette M. White. I'm on YouTube at Dr.Cozette M. White. You guys, if you are a tax professional, enrolled agent, CPA, or any of you guys that are in the financial industry, I have a Facebook group called the Tax Curative Lab. You can head up to my bio right above us, down below, wherever, and you will find the Facebook group. You can head over there. I teach you guys about growing your business, how to grow, scale, and leverage. We all know hopefully we all know about our taxes. We all know about all that. I'm teaching you, what do you need to grow your business, your messaging, your marketing, who's your ideal client. We're talking about your leveraging with systems, leveraging with automation, leveraging with a team. I can't wear all these hats and get all this done. I can't sit here on Instagram and not have those taxes done. But if I have a team, we're getting it done. Okay, so head on over to the group, join us. I also want to extend an invite to my tax pros, CPAs, EAs to the Thrive Live conference. Listen, you guys, it is an event put on by a tax professional, an accountant, years of experience to help you grow, scale, and leverage. If you're tired of being stuck, if you're stagnant in your business and wondering what do you need to do to move to the next level, then you need to get your seat, your ticket, and have your seat reserved for you for Thrive Live. It's May 11th through the 13th right here in Los Angeles, California at the Renaissance Hotel, which is right near LAX Airport. I'm making it easy. Y'all don't have to Uber. Y'all don't have to do none of that, rent a car. It's right there. You get off the plane, you take the shuttle, and boom, you right there at the hotel. So I can't wait to see you guys, meet you guys. Head over to my Facebook group so that we can hang out there and be a little bit more personal instead of right here. April, thank you so much. I want you to know this. Don't limit yourself to Houston. Don't limit yourself to Dallas. I want you to think global, girl. I want you to think worldwide. Worldwide. April Moore is worldwide, y'all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I received that as well.
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you guys to everybody who joined. I tried to say hello. Let me go through and give all these waves. I tried to wave as you guys came in, but if I missed you, just know I love you, okay? Take care, April. Bye-bye,
You too.
everybody.
Bye-bye.